What's up, everyone? This is Ryuka here, and today I want to talk about Spawn Issue 9, the first appearance of Angela. So, for those who don't know who Angela is, she is pretty much an angel from heaven, or a bounty hunter. Her role was to hunt down spawns and kill them, but apparently in the story arc, she didn't have a permit, and Spawn had to go and testify and said, it wasn't her fault technically, it wasn't her fault. I repeated myself, and she's I guess allowed to kill a spawn or whatever the case was. But what's more interesting about this comic is more of the backstory to it. And I'm not talking about the comic itself, but the history, what happened with Tom McFarlane and Neil Gaiman. They had a fallout. McFarlane felt that he didn't have to pay Neil, and Neil decided that he's going to take Tom McFarlane to court. Now, I don't know why Tom McFarlane thought he didn't have to pay him, but that was pretty much the case. And they're in legal battle for a very long time, like a very long time over that issue of money and who owes what, when, how. Ultimately, in 2013, I believe, they came to a settlement, and McFarlane decided to give Neil Gaiman a few characters, and one of them being Angela, which he didn't want to pay the guy, but he gave him the characters. And Neil, as a result of receiving these characters back, I could just imagine how stressed he must have been. Like, just pretty much, you ain't paying me, but you give me these characters back, kind of mentality. He probably was just like, screw this, I'm gonna go and let Marvel handle this. And Marvel pretty much took Angela, and now she's a part of the Marvel universe. So she went from being an Image comic character to a Marvel character. And if you read Original Sins, which was a comic with Thor and explaining Angela's origins in that universe, they don't touch up too much on what happened, how she wound up there, but it's interesting to see that they acknowledge that, or at least her mother acknowledged that she died, but they didn't say how. And for those who are wondering, yes, she does die in the Spawn comics. She gets killed by Malabogia, and then Spawn kills Malabogia. It's a mess, but pretty much in the Marvel universe, she appears from the 10th realm, heaven, the heaven realm, and she's Thor and Loki's sister, long lost sister. And that's where that story kicks off from there. And she's also involved with the Guardians of the Galaxy as well. So Angela's picking up to have a pretty interesting backstory so far in the Marvel Universe, as well as being that she's one of the assassins of Asgard as well. So it's interesting to see what Marvel is doing with her. And I believe she's going to have a more prominent role in future of the Marvel franchises and whatnot, especially the films. I'm surprised she hasn't appeared in any of the films yet, being that she has a role with what's going on, especially in Age of Ultron. But yeah, let me see if I can find a cover so then you guys can see what I'm talking about. So as you can see here, this is what I was talking about, and this is a preview issue comic, or somewhat of a magazine. It's giving previews of what's coming up in the Marvel Universe, and this is Angela Asgard Assassins issue 1, at least the cover. And as you can see here, I don't think this is Angela. I can't say for sure, but I'm guessing this is Angela and this is some other chick. But yeah, Marvel's wasting no time doing things with this character, and especially giving her her own standalone comic as well, and giving her more of a backstory. And it says, Health Heath, a new fury. So I hope I pronounced that right. But yeah, and it's the writer, artist, and I believe co-artist. So yeah, it's really interesting to see that Marvel's wasting no time doing things with Angela, as I was saying earlier on. So McFarlane, he lost an interesting character in his battle with Neil Gaiman, but at the same time, McFarlane should have paid the guy. Just when that happened, and but McFarlane felt otherwise. So, if you're wondering why this issue is in case you don't know what grading is, this is a graded issue. It's 9.6, excuse me. So yeah, pretty much this is graded. And this was actually my first graded comic as well. I really liked it. I really liked the Spawn comics, but I also really liked the Angelus character in the Spawn universe, and this is why everybody has their own reason for having a graded comic usually, but this one is my first graded one. So yeah, it'll say right here, first appearance of Medieval Spawn and Angela. Angela poster done by Jim Lee. Yeah, there's a poster in this comic done by Jim Lee. So, and then you can see here where it's graded, and so on and so forth. And yeah, this is issue 9. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So let's wrap this up. So pretty much that was a little bit of a backstory of Angela and what happens, sort of transitioning into Image to Marvel, and what happened between Neil Gaiman and Tom McFarlane, giving you guys a little bit of an idea of what happened between the two. The details are pretty starched about their court case. I did some research on it, and pretty much you're kind of left speculating of how it sort of played out and what really went on. But I guess in the end, they both remained professional about it, and they didn't really want to discuss anything more after the legal battle was over. But in my opinion, if Tom McFarlane was to pay Neil Gaiman the money that he owed him, this all would have not happened, and Angela probably would have still stood in the not the Marvel universe, excuse me, in the Spawn universe. But I believe Angela is better off in the Marvel universe. I think being that now Marvel's doing so much with this character and they're not wasting time, it's nice to see that she has more potential elsewhere than where she was. And I'm not bashing on the Spawn universe, but then yet again, Tom McFarlane hasn't done much lately with Spawn, in my opinion. I haven't really seen anything come out of it. Movie and the comics have been dry, and at least to me anyway. So I don't know what McFarlane really has planned for the future of Spawn, but I think he needs to start kicking things into high gear if he wants to keep Spawn relevant in the spotlight for future generations to come. But anyway, this is Rayuka here, and until next time, everyone, sayonara.